Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tracy with TR's Tarot Talk 1111, and guess what? Yep, it's that time of the month again. We are about to enter into the new moon in Gemini energies tomorrow. Oh my god, it snuck up on me. I should have started these videos 3 days ago. So I'm going to try to get all the zodiacs up quickly for you guys. And I don't think it's going to be that tough this month because the channeled message kind of is giving me guidance that this new moon energy is all about trust. It's about communicating with people clearly and using the tools that we've been given and that we've been becoming adept at using. So we're going to do a channeled message now from Spirit. If you're new to my channel, I am a twin flame channeler. I channel spirit messages for the twin flames and anybody that's on the ascension journey. I work with light workers and anybody that resonates with being here at this time for mission work. And so I take a sacred bath, which I have not done today, but I did last night, and that's when I channeled this message. And so I channel through automatic writing, and usually I clean it up a little bit before I share it with you, and this is all over the place. However, I'm running behind and I want to get all this information out, so I'm going to read it, and I'll try to make it make sense as I read it, because when I channel, it's automatic writing. And it's ideas that come in. It's not like somebody takes a hold of my hand and writes for me. It's downloads that I get, and I have to write it down quickly before I lose the thought, right? Lose the reception, I guess. So, thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you like my vibe, subscribe. And I upload every new moon, every full moon. I do a channeled message, and I do a guidance reading for every zodiac sign. They are independent videos. And so there will be 13 videos uploaded every new moon, every full moon. And in between, I usually do a pick-a-pile and a twin flame reading. If you resonate with that, make sure you go and check on the most recent twin flame message that I posted. It seemed to resonate with a lot of DMs especially. So take a look. All right, let's get into your guidance. All right, so this is what Spirit brought to me for the new moon in Gemini. Now, I looked in my Moonology deck. Ooh. Around the energy, and I lost it now. I put it back in. Oh, here it is, of the new moon in Gemini. And so this is how I started my meditation. I was like, okay, so the energy around the new moon in Gemini is communication, right? Air sign, communicating clearly. So I asked Spirit, how is that going to show up for us? How is that an energy we can work with this next lunar cycle? And so this is what I channeled. Spirit said it's actually a moon of communicating with Spirit to know thyself. Okay? Because we have been asleep in the matrix, and we have forgotten our divinity, forgotten who we are as a creator being from a creator race. And so the ascension, and especially if you're on the twin flame journey or sacred soulmate or ascension partner, depending on, your title that you put on it. We've been, for at least me, since the blood moon back in November, I think it was, or around there of 2018. Yeah. That's when I was activated. I've been on the ascension journey for years, but I mean the heavy hitting stuff, the purge, the dark night of the soul, the, questioning and learning and questioning and learning and doubting and questioning and learning and, You know, it's like every month it seems like big changes in my life, and I had to integrate those changes. So this is what I got, and we'll try to make a little sense of it here. I don't want to make it too long because I know I do get some viewers that complain about the length of the videos, but you know, if you're trying to ascend spiritually, you might want to take time out for that. Just might want to set aside a little bit of time, or spirit will clear your agenda. Okay, so here we go, guys. So spirit said the theme of the new moon in Gemini, geez, I can't even talk, Gemini energies is communication, trust, an adept, becoming an adept. I didn't know how to articulate that, but we'll get into it, okay? So communication is communication between you and others, okay? We have been taught over many months. Some of you are further on the journey than others, and others are just waking up. It's okay. If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, come back later, because when you're further along on the journey, you will resonate with this, okay? But every lunar cycle brings a new gateway or a new opportunity, new conversations happening in the sky between planets and asteroids and stuff, and that haven't happened in a long time, okay? Every one of them is different. But we are leaving the age of Pisces, and we are now in the age of Aquarius. And you've heard me say this before. It's the year 2020, which is 2020 vision, and the blinders are being removed from the collective's eyes, and they are regaining their gifts. Okay, so let's get into this. Trust. Communicate first, okay? Communication is trusting the communication you get from your own inner higher knowing. And then communicating clearly with others the patternings that we are being shown need to be healed and changed. Okay? So we have been every month learning, we've been getting new triggers, or not new triggers, we've been shown triggers. We've been triggered. And around those triggers, it used to take a very long time, possibly a whole lifetime, for us to really be willing to look at our triggers and do some healing work around that, right? Why did it trigger me? What was the trigger? What's the emotional trigger? And so this next 30 days or 20, however many days between now and the next new moon or full moon, it's all going to be about taking all of those lessons that you've learned or been learning up until this point and using the tools that Spirit has given us to become adept at healing and realigning to our own true vibrational resonance quicker than we ever have before. Okay, let me read what I've got and then we'll kind of sum it up. Okay, and remember, this is channeled writing, so it's a little bit sloppy. It kind of goes all over the place, but I believe I've read it to a couple friends and I believe you'll follow. If you're on this path and you're at this point on your path, it'll make sense. All right, so the first one we're going to tackle is trust. Okay, trust that you are becoming adept at handling things better, more differently and better, and finding your alignment back to self much faster than you ever have before. Okay, so Spirit explained it to me like this. You see, as awakening souls on the ascension journey, whether you're a twin flame, starseed, no matter what you believe your mission work is here or why you incarnated, trust the wave you came in on at this particular time. If you know that you've been activated activated with number sequences, synchronicities, or perhaps it's a person that activated you. Maybe your whole life has changed since this certain person, since you met them, or you reconnected with them, or you'll know, trust me. All right, but as we are awakening and becoming adept in the new higher frequencies, we've been going through many cycles, moon cycles, lunar cycles, which have brought us purges. And after our purge and our healing around those triggers and purges, we have a big growth spurt spiritually. And then another purge, right? And then more growth, and etc., etc. So this is natural. It's meant to happen. That's what we came here for at this time. So if you feel like issues in your life that have been wanting to be resolved for a long time are just not sitting well with you anymore, and you just feel stuck and you feel sad and you feel like change needs to happen, that's something that's been being worked on within the collective, right? So with these growth spurts, we've evolved. And in each phase or cycle, we're learning new lessons. And then Spirit gives us new tools. And we're learning how to use those tools to create something better than what we have experienced thus far. So we're learning lessons that before were too complicated. Quite frankly, we weren't even aware of some of them. And have now evolved beyond them. What used to be complicated now seems rudimentary. You're wiser. You're stronger. You have better vision to see what you couldn't see before within yourself and with others. And so it's kind of like we're getting back all the clairs, right? Clairsentience. You've mastered the art of clear seeing, clear hearing, clear knowing, clear feeling. These are the gifts that were taken from us. Not really taken, but kind of hidden from us, hijacked, by programming. People who had an agenda to program a creator race to create what they wanted instead of what we wanted. And by doing so, they've done a lot of things to shut us down. Fluoride with the pineal gland, and GMOs and pesticides and nanotechnology that they put in our bodies through foods that we eat. And I mean, those are timelines, right? You don't have to be in those timelines, but I think we've all spent a little time there. And so we are now awakening to the clear hearing, clear seeing, clear knowing, clear feeling. And with these gifts, we are figuring out, we are awakening to who we are. Know thyself. Know that you are a creator. If God is everything and everything is God, if God is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, the everything that was, everything that is, and everything that shall be, what does that make you? And any other thing that has creative life force, right? From the grass to the animals to the trees, anything with a life force is a creator being. And it creates its own cycles for its own perfect experience. It's getting deep, guys. Sorry. So anyhow, it doesn't matter who they are, when we're talking about, well, they put those stuff, they're controlling the media, they're controlling the government, they're controlling the masses. It doesn't matter who they are. What really matters is who you are. Who are you? Stop giving your power away. This is Spirit's message, guys. Know who you are. Know what you're capable of. Know thyself. I think what the message is around trust, is what have we learned in the last lunar cycle? Remember, we talked about the supermoon in Scorpio being about tower moments and mourning, grieving, because everything's changing. So, you know, as we release what used to be to create what will become, some things had to be shaken out of our grubby little fingers because we were unwilling to let them go. And other things needed to be mourned because we had released them, but we needed closure. We needed acceptance around those, right? So what did you learn since that supermoon? What were you shown that you needed to release or let go of? Or what was taken from you? You know, maybe you lost your job, or your spouse said they wanted a divorce, or your car died and you had to buy a new one. I mean, it comes in all shapes and sizes. So what tower moments did you have? What aha moments or epiphanic moments happened since the supermoon? Wasn't that long ago, but I feel like tons of stuff happened to me and for me. Did you get triggered by someone or something? I was, twice. How adept were you at recognizing you were triggered? And did you think about and study on why? Why were you triggered? What was the trigger? Was it jealousy, envy, greed, injustice, abandonment, unworthiness? Were you lied to or cheated on? Or any other form of victimization that we have internalized and put a trigger around and called it a red flag, right? We've been working on the romance angel cards has a card that says, pay attention to the red flags. We are cautioning you. Are you learning? Have you learned over these last, year, for me at least, over a year? Have you learned how to recognize a trigger and what is a trigger and what are the red flags and what do they tell you about yourself and about judgments you've placed on yourself that you also put out and transfer onto others? Are you getting better at seeing it, at questioning it, dancing with it, buy the t-shirt, been there, done that? Because anytime you fall into victimization, it's because you've passed a judgment. And that judgment is first a judgment you pass upon yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not enough. And those preconceived belief systems were put upon us by conformed religion, ancestral patterning, government influence, commercialization, big pharma, media. We've literally been programmed to believe that we are victims. And Spirit says that couldn't be farther from the truth. That you are a divine creator being. You are literally the inheritor of all that is, all that was, and all that ever shall be. And you create with magic. Who did you blame for your trigger? Did you blame it on the person that triggered you, or were you able to go a little deeper and take a look at the real person you blame? Could be somebody from your childhood, could be yourself, right? It's not the first time you've danced with that trigger, trust me. So in the next lunar cycle, I believe we're going to be working on using our tools of discernment, clear knowing, clear hearing, clear seeing, clear feeling, And we're going to use the gifts that God gave us, and we're going to know that we are creator beings. And we're going to use that knowledge to create. Now, a lot of you guys found me through Rich Lopp, and Rich has been doing a lot of law of attraction videos. And this is something that Spirit has kind of been bringing to my attention in the last year. And because I was so focused on my twin flame journey and my divine masculine and, you know, all the judgments we place on them and all the blame that we place on them, that really started because we placed it on ourselves first and allowed ourselves to feel victimized, where perhaps if we'd have just looked at the situation from their point of view, we could have seen that they also were not happy and broken and projecting, right? So the twin flame journey has been kind of preoccupying me. But lately, Spirit has put me on task. I was told by somebody I read for, I won't mention her name because of, you know, privacy. But I was told by a girl I read for, and I believe she's very psychic. She's a divine feminine, and she's very, very gifted. And she told me that she thought I was a DNA activator. That when people listen to me or talk to me, somehow, some way, I plant seeds, and they, for those who are meant to, they find fertile soil. And that kind of resonated with me because, you know, I don't really have a title. I don't know what to call myself. I just know that, you know, I do know that I'm on the twin flame journey. I know that I've awakened out of the matrix. I know that I'm meant to teach. I know that I'm meant to mentor. But, you know, I never thought about being a DNA activator, right? But that kind of resonated with me. I noticed that when I counsel with people, I learn as much from counseling them as they do being counseled by me. It's like a symbiotic relationship. And it's like we activate each other's DNA. And we just learn shit and just grow from it, right? So this gets a little deep here. So when you look at your triggers and red flags, what judgments have you made, and who did you blame, and why? And was it even real or perceived? And why? Why? Did you do all that kind of stuff? And did you work it all out with yourself? And did you make adjustments and form some new opinions that you never ever had before? And are you proud of yourself for all the hard work that you've put into trying to realign and find your balance and harmonize your frequency much, much quicker than you ever have before? And did it feel wonderful to use your new tools and find your way back to joy and love and become much more aligned with the energy of your deepest knowing, so much easier and quicker than ever before in the past? This is the energy of this new moon in Gemini. Learning, and then Spirit corrected me and said, actually realizing that we are getting pretty damn good at recognizing the red flags. And now we know we have the tools to navigate by changing the way we approach them, having a better understanding of what they are and who created them. We did. And why? And what are they protecting? And what belief system did we build around it, right? So, being a powerful conscious creator, we're all creators, guys. We are a creator race, creator beings. And so the difference between being an unconscious creator and a conscious creator is trusting your inner knowing. It's awakening and knowing thyself. And so I spoke about Rich because he activated me to do some questioning around the law of attraction. And instead of going online and listening to everybody else's ideas or teachings around the law of attraction, I decided to go straight to source. And this is what I got. And you guys tell me if it resonates with you. It says, once you stop giving your power away, and I want to clarify what Spirit told me your power, your superpower, your magic is your focus and your attention. And especially your focus and attention with intention. Now, I know I've heard that a million times in the law of attraction stuff, and it just never really clicked. I didn't get it. And the reason why is because I didn't know myself. I believed I was Tracy Redden, some girl from Conneaut, Ohio, that was pretty messed up, pretty broken. I've been an alcoholic. I've been in narcissistic relationships. I've been in abusive relationships. I've had food addictions. I've just been a mess, guys. I mean, who am I to be teaching anything spiritual to anybody? But this whole ascension path and this twin flame journey has awakened me to my divinity, to who I really am. I am an aspect of God, embodied, desiring experience and expansion and growth. And the law of attraction is our gift. We are living in the Garden of Eden. The entire planet is the Garden of Eden. And it was made perfect for us. And before we forgot who we were and became an unconscious creator, by the way, unconscious creators create for others, not self, and they create chaos. So the way Spirit showed it to me is that when something exists in your reality that brings you pain or unhappiness, it's because you've forgotten that you are the creator. And the way you create is with your focus and intentions and attention. So when something hurts, take your power back. When you take your power back, it ceases to exist. The only way it has life is because you focused life into it. You created it. So take your focus and put it back on yourself. It'll help you to realign quicker than you ever have before, even in your whole life to this moment. Realign back to joy and to love. When you do that, everything that doesn't resonate with joy or love disappears, guys. It ceases to exist. It may not cease to exist for others because they're still focused on it. But it ceases to exist for you because you are a creator. And you recognize or will recognize that your creative magic is your focus and your attention. And when you're giving your power away to things you don't want, you are not creating what you do want. So, as soon as you focus on something that robs you of your joy or happiness or love, it has control over you, right? It controls you. Let's just say it the way it is. And so when you lose your power to your own creations, It's because you don't know thyself. You don't recognize that you have the magic within you. You breathe life into it. It's your creation. Stop thinking about it. Stop worrying over it. Stop judging it. Stop. When you stop, it ceases to exist. Refocus. Your focus is your intention, and your intention and attention is your power to create anything you want that is in alignment. See, this is the catch-20. You can create anything you want. And my monkey mind, being double Virgo, immediately goes to, well, that's scary. I don't want everybody out there waking up to the realization that they can create anything they want. Because some people create some really, really bad shit. But Spirit corrected me and said, no, you don't understand. As a collective consciousness, the more people who are awakened to their ability to create, you can only create. Creation cannot happen without trust and faith. Cannot happen. You can dream it, you can desire it, you can plant seeds, take action toward it, but if you don't believe in it, you can't create it. And everybody, even the bad guys, likes to feel good. And so the only thing they can have faith in and create is what makes them feel good. And when they're awakened to who they are, know thyself, all of a sudden, being self-serving starts to hurt. You start feeling guilt when you hurt other people, because you recognize, when you know thyself, you recognize that we are all one collective consciousness that are aspects of God embodied, having experience to expand and grow. So if you're creating bad stuff, then you're not awakened to your God source energy. You don't know thyself. The moment you know yourself to be me and you and her and him, once you come back to that unified consciousness, every time you create something that causes harm to someone else, that's karma. That's when you hurt because you hurt them. And that's the wake-up call. When you stop hurting others, it's because you are no longer wanting to be hurt yourself. And once you start healing yourself first, that will heal every decision you make toward others. Because guilt hurts, shame hurts, judgment hurts, blame hurts, anger hurts, killing hurts, war hurts. Think about it, guys, for those with ears to hear and eyes to see. So your superpower, let's just put this right in perspective, okay? When you know thyself, when you recognize that you are God incarnate, not original source, but you are the inheritor of all that is, all that was, and all that ever shall be, then when you're awakened to that, your life starts changing. And you start learning things, and you start practicing using those new lessons with new tools. You start showing up better. You start taking responsibility for your actions and your judgments and your creations. So what you focus on, what you give your attention and intention to becomes. You breathe life into it with your very, very magical superpower as a creator. Your focus and attention and intention is your magic. So the law of attraction is, you want a boat? You dream about a boat. You envision a boat. You put yourself behind the wheel driving a boat. You think about fishing off the boat. You dream what color you want it to be, how big you want it to be. And you have trust. That's that Three of Wands energy, waiting for your ship to come in. For me as a reader, the Three of Wands is a manifestation card. It's, I have already put my order in. I've already selected all the details and placed my order. And I have trust that it is coming. Not because somebody out there is giving it to me. Not because I earned it. But because I created it. It's my creation. Because I focused on it. I gave it my attention. I gave it life. And I have faith because I'm a co-creator with the divine source that lives within me, that always wants me to be love, joy, and happy. And when you're in love and joy and happiness, you will never harm another living, creative life force again. That's why people have a hard time, especially light workers are having a hard time eating meat right now. And that sucks because I like meat. But every time I eat it, the empathy I feel around the loss of the life and the abuse of the life before. I mean, there was a time when we were supposed to eat the meat. It was an offering from the God source energy to give us sustenance. But we abused that power and we created harm. And we did not honor those animals. And because we didn't honor them, their meat will not honor us. It goes deep, guys. So I just jump all over the place. How we're going to heal and change the world is by taking our power of attention and intention and our focus. And we're going to take it off of things like judging ourselves, judging others. We're going to take our focus off of politics and wars and lack. We're going to stop feeding the dragons the very magic by which they were created. And we're going to take that focus and we're going to place it on building a better way of living, a better way of being. And we needed the wake up. We needed COVID-19. We needed governments to become so controlling that we finally got to the tipping point of enough is enough. I'm not going to stand for this. I'm tired of being enslaved lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So the message is very, very deep, guys. I mean, I got so many downloads that I would have to talk to you for hours. But I think what we need to focus on in the next couple of weeks, till the next full moon, we need to be practicing any lessons we've learned up until this point. We need to be using the tools that we have now at our disposal. We've always had them, but we just didn't know ourselves. We didn't know what we were capable of. So if you're afraid of something, stop feeding it your focus and attention. Refocus your attention on your intentions of what you're trying to create. And ask a question every time you're triggered. Ask yourself, is this in alignment with with the life that I am trying to create? And the biggest step in all that, and I've been saying this for a while now, is trust, faith. Because you are not a singular creator. You are part of a whole, part of a collective, part of original source. And you are everything that ever has been, ever will be, and ever is in the now moment. And so stop creating what you don't want and start creating what you do. And use the tools. This month is practice. It's like if you're into sports, you have to have practice before the big game, before the league starts, before, competition. But we're not competing anymore. We're learning to co-create together. Because you aren't better than I am, and I'm not better than you are. We're all at different points on the ascension path, but that doesn't make anybody greater than or less than. Time is not linear. I'm not in 12th grade and you're in kindergarten. No, you'll be in kindergarten, and some days you'll be in 12th grade, some days you'll be in 5th grade, some days you won't even get out of bed. But when you know thyself and you recognize the power that lies within you, you will stop daydreaming and focusing on all the things that hurt. You'll quit judging yourself. You'll quit judging others. You'll learn your triggers. You'll recognize the red flags. And you will find your alignment back to your original vibration of love, joy, and happiness much faster. Not because it's an accident, but because you intentionally created it by focusing your attention on what you want to create. If that's not clear enough for you for the law of attraction, watch this video again. And then wait a week and watch it again. Put it in your favorite playlist, because I'm telling you, this is big. This takes limits away. The only limit God has put on us is first cause no harm. Because that's the law of karma. If you judge yourself, if you say, like I did it this morning, it's habit, guys. I got up and I wanted to get hot on making these videos, so I didn't take a bath. I didn't do my morning rituals. And I judged myself. I was like, oh God, Tracy, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. Those are habits, okay? And yes, it's nice to set your intentions. I always make an offering. I cut up a piece of fruit and I offer it to the source energy, to the disembodied creators out there that chose to stay in the 5D and above in order to guide us. It's a thank you gift. It's not like they're hungry. It's not like, but it's thank you, right? It's the only intention work I really did for this today. Last night I did a bunch. So I hope this resonates, guys. I wanted to tie the ends up for the twins. So if you don't resonate as being a twin flame or being on the ascension journey because of a ascension partner, meaning another person activated you and you have been dancing the dance of runner, chaser, teacher, student, giver, taker, judger, judged, then you can click off here. And I love you. And please come back and watch your zodiac sign and any cross watching you want to do for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. They'll be being uploaded today. They're going to be short because part of the message of trust is that I don't have to give you all the knowledge. Most of you already have it. This lunar cycle is about communicating your truth, not just to yourself, not just to others, but to the universe. Because by communicating clearly with your focus and your attention and intention, you're going to learn how to master, become adept at using your new tools. And so I was told that this month, the biggest tool you need to work with is the tool of knowing thyself and trusting what you know. Trusting that you are a powerful, conscious creator, co-creating with the divine your highest and best life, which, by the way, is going to be the highest and best for everybody involved, because first, do no harm. Eyes to see, ears to hear. So now we're going to go on to the twins, guys. For all of my twin flames out there, I was told this is a month where you're going to know what you know. The universe is going to show you, like, you know how we've been flip-flopping back and forth. Is it my twin? Am I a twin? Is this my person? Are they ascension partner? Is somebody else coming? This month is all about you getting the answers to that. And Spirit says, you need to trust that you know what you already know. Look back over the time that you have spent since your person came into your life or awakened you to the twin flame journey. What have you learned? And could it have been possible without them? And every time they ghosted you and you thought they were gone forever, did they always return? Maybe not the way you wanted them to, maybe not in the way you were hoping. But you see, your twin flame is your perfect resonance, soul song, vibrational match. That's why it's your twin. So when you wonder, are they on the awakening journey? Are they even awakened? Do they even know what's going on? You know what Spirit told me? You wouldn't be where you are today, and you wouldn't know what you know if it weren't for them. Because see, they were the teacher first. We like to think that they're lost out there somewhere and so broken and so unawakened and so this or so that. It's judgment, guys. When you're not in unconditional love, it's because you've passed judgment, shame, blame, judgment. That's why Spirit used the judgment card as the awakening. Gabriel, blowing his horn, awakening the original 144,000, which, by the way, that was another download I got for the collective, is that our 12 strands of DNA are coming online. And 12 times 12, the 12 tribes, is 144,000. And that 144,000 are the 100th monkey. It's the exact perfect number to awaken the masses, to tilt the scales, to be just what we need to cause an effect. of balance that we haven't had in a very long time between the divine masculine and divine feminine. So if you're on journey, if you're on mission, you were the student and they, your twin, was your teacher and you didn't even know it. And so now it's their turn. It's their turn. They're waking up. They're getting their tower moments. They're finding their alignment. They're learning new coping skills. And you have become the teacher and they have become the student. And so if you doubt whether or not they're ever coming back or you're ever going to hear from them, that's something you need to go within and take a look at, because that's a judgment. And when we judge others, it's because we first judge ourselves. So where are you not in alignment with who you are as a God source energy, a creator being? Know thyself. And trust. Trust is big. Unconditional love is loving without judgment. It's loving without judgment. It's loving without conditions. And the only way you can love another that way is when you love yourself that way. So if you're not there yet, you've got some more practicing to do, because you've already got your gifts. You've already got you. If you're awakened, like I said, everybody's on a different wave, right? But everybody's going to come into union. Trust me. Trust you. Trust you. Know thyself. You are a powerful, conscious creator. Don't you think it's time you sit down and start daydreaming about what it will look like when they come? What kind of things will you do together? I like to picture me and my divine masculine traveling, hiking, making money on the road, exploring, teaching. I can see him fishing with my boy, working on four-wheelers and trucks and boats. I can see us happy. And I couldn't do that before because I was only focusing on all the things I didn't think he could ever be, and all the choices I didn't think he'd ever make, and all of the ways that he's never shown up. And because that's where I placed my focus and my attention and intention, that's what I've created in his contract as my twin, is to not come into union until I have come into union within myself, with my own divine masculine and feminine. I need to forgive every single victimization and judgment that I have ever had put upon me or owned or created. And if you're not even close, then union's just a little bit like smoke, like you can't get your fingers wrapped around it. But that's their job. They don't even know they're doing it. A lot of them, it's 5D, higher self running the show, right? It's happening, guys. You got to trust, and you've got to practice becoming adept at realigning back to love, back to love, back to love. Every time you judge yourself, back to love. Every time you judge another, back to love. Every time you superimpose your own belief system over who or what your divine counterpart is, back to love. And the more and more you can become adept at coming back to your center, back to your knowing thyself, back to creating the highest and best life for yourself, the more you can find love and be in a vibrational match, watch and see just how freaking fast union will come about. Because they have a contract and they promised that they were not going to come into union with you until you were ready. And you made the same pact with them. And so the longer you are on hold, the longer they're in hangman or hangwoman position, is because they pinky swore they were going to help you heal it all. Not part of it, not some of it, all of it. And the moment you do, it's like there's an umbilical cord from you to them, from the heart to their heart. And the moment you come in alignment, you put them online. They feel the vibration and they recognize it and they're like, ah, the time is now. The time has come and the time is now. And watch miracles happen. Remember, you need to know yourself. Know that you are a divine creator, creator source, creator being. And you create. You have magic living within you. And the magic is where you place your focus, intention, and attention. All right, so I hope this helped. There was a lot more here, but I think I summed it up. I think you guys get the gist. I have faith in you. I trust that those who have eyes to see and ears to hear got the message loud and clear. And if you didn't, it's okay. No judgment. No judgment. Everybody's learning and everybody's becoming adept. And it's going to take practice. So this month, practice having trust and faith. Practice the law of attraction. Focus on something. Pick something. Practice with little things. I want $500 to buy X, Y, or Z. You daydream, you go online, you shop for it, you pick out what color, what size, where are you going to store it, what are you going to do with it, and watch and see if where you focus your attention and intention, if it doesn't just magically come to you. And you don't have to control how the universe brings it. You just gotta be very clear in your communication, Gemini energy. Communicate clearly. You communicate, communicate clearly to yourself. Know thyself. Communicate clearly to others because they need to know what you'll say yes to and what you'll say no to, right? Because now you recognize the red flags, and the red flags are judgments, and judgments hurt, and you just don't want it no more. Then you've got to communicate clearly to the universe and have trust and faith. If you know who you are, and if you know thyself, you already know it's on its way. Why? Because you're the creator, and you know it. It's beautiful, guys. I hope you get it. Love and light. Watch for your zodiac signs. They're going to be brief. Spirit told me I'm not supposed to give you all the answers. This is a month of trust and practice. Okay? So I'm going to probably pick just oracle cards. I'm just going to give you some guidance. This month's zodiac is not going to be tarot. Tarot is predicting. And we're not going to predict this month. This month we're going to create. So your zodiac signs will be advice from Spirit on how to create and just any messages that come through around how to practice to become the adept and how to have faith. And maybe if you don't know what your mission work is yet, you might get some oracle information on that. Stay tuned. I will see you soon. I'm going to start them right now. Namaste.